We're coming to you from the Singapore Cloud and Data Center Convention, and joining us now is a special guest, Mr. Kavickumar Muruganathan from Microsoft. Welcome to W.Media, sir. Let's begin by talking about sustainability. You're very passionate about it. Could you tell us a bit about your role?
Absolutely. So sustainability is a topic that is close to my heart, and I'm glad that it's turned out to be a professional occupation of mine. So what I do in Microsoft is essentially supporting our cloud data centers sustainability and advocacy initiative in the APAC region. So in a nutshell, understanding what are the future regulations that might come to affect our license to operate and how we can proactively preempt them in that sense. So that's in a nutshell what I do on a day-to-day basis for the region.
But how would you describe your vision of the idea of sustainability? Because different people have different ideas, and there is a lot happening in this field. It's a very exciting field, especially in the data center industry. So how do you view the concept of sustainability vis-a-vis the data center industry?
And I think you got that right, absolutely right. I mean, sustainability is a concept that is constantly evolving, and especially in the data center space, I think we see the pace of evolution growing at an exponential rate, right? And I see it as always the goalpost being shifting all the time, right? As industry grows its sustainability ambitions, regulators catch up with that growth, and they continually try and push the standards in that sense to enable better sustainability performance. So I see that as an evolving concept that continues to morph and exemplify in itself in different ways. And it's important that as an industry, we keep pace with that evolution and we drive the change to enable that data centers operate in a very sustainable manner.
Speaking of regulatory environment, would you say we have some policy black holes, or because there's clearly a lot that needs to be done across the region, not just in Singapore here, but Johor, Riau Islands, that's what we are looking at in Sajori, but across the wider APAC region as well. So what do you think can be done differently?
Absolutely. And this basically points to the idea of closer collaboration between regulators and data center operators, right? It requires regulators to understand the challenges that data center operators face on a day-to-day basis, and for data center operators in some way to also educate the regulators on the challenges that the industry faces. So, that's how we can shorten the gap between regulation and how day-to-day operations should go about in the industry. And there we seek that sort of alignment that's required. I mean, it's easier said than done, but it's a process that needs to start now. And that's why events are so critical to bring all the stakeholders together.
Could you now tell us a bit about the innovative solutions your organization has deployed to actually walk the talk on sustainability?
Absolutely. Sustainability is paramount to how we operate as a company and how we design, run, and enable the data centers that we build to operate. And I think there are various solutions, right? Data centers require a huge amount of energy, and to combat that aspect of it, we are committed to 100% renewable energy. And that's something that we really advocate for and we walk the talk on. Beyond that, water is also an important issue, and a issue that sometimes does not get as much attention as energy. So we have set commitments around being water positive towards 2030. And beyond that, we also have commitments to be land positive. Data centers need land to sort of operate and be built on, right? So sometimes in certain regions, land can be an issue. So how do we coexist with communities that are around data centers and ensure that their livelihoods are not also impacted? So that's very important. And of course, lastly, we have the whole narrative around how do we contribute back to society? I think that's very important, the social aspects of it, right? So community investments are also part of the narrative. So in essence, that's how we drive that narrative. And of course, decarbonization is huge in data centers. And that's where we continue to explore innovative solutions. For example, low embodied carbon, concrete, green steel, for example. And
that is a very interesting thing, embodied carbon, because a lot of older facilities are being repurposed and there's embodied carbon there. So what is your approach there?
Well, I think that's something that we need to work on. I mean, this is something that we can't drive ourselves. We need the broader ecosystem to embrace that concept of it, right? That's where we need to work with regulators, general contractors to actually embrace the whole idea of circularity, right? How can we also convert brownfield sites to, potential new data centers in that sense without really altering the natural ecosystem that's been present there, and also repurposing some of the existing infrastructure. So I think this is something that takes a lot of stakeholders in the ecosystem to come together and collaborate on, but that's something that we are also endeavoring to do as a company.
Thank you so much for joining us. We value your time and your support. Thank you.
Thank you so much.